aircraft that was missing for the 28th of December 1965. It disappeared. And we buried them 4 years ago in Arlington. And they're still the same age, in my mind,
Right.
as they were then. That's what these,
Exactly.
they stay that age. And so when you're thinking of them, you are old, but they aren't.
Right.
So what we did was place an American flag
where they
where each
got-
was killed,
Yeah.
and we lost Major Johnson was shot down,
Aircraft.
and so most of our people, including the two from our, were in I Corps where I was up here, and some down in the Delta.
Yeah. Well, I was in this area, and when they tried to cut the country in half, and that's what we were doing, was trying to stop that.
We're going to take you down, give you something to eat, give you a chance to go to the bathroom.
Okay, that's a good idea. At my age, it's always a good idea. Now we
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Elizabethton High School for a very special assembly as we honor a very special guest of honor. Thank you for coming today. On behalf of the teachers and staff and the students of Elizabethton High School, I just want to say what a privilege and honor it is to have Lieutenant Colonel Bruce Crandall with us today. What a great way for us to start off our homecoming weekend, to have this man in our presence. A few people I want to recognize before we get started. Just want to mention we thank Mr. Ed Alexander, our superintendent, our Board of Education members who are here today. We want to recognize any members of our town council and Mayor Alexander, Carter County Commission, Mayor Leon Humphrey. We have with us today State Representative John Holtzclaw Jr., along with State Senator Rusty Rowe. Thank you for coming with us and being with us today for this special occasion. I'm going to brief, I know we're pressed for time today, but this all started about this time last year when myself, Mr. Campbell, and Coach Diaz, two social studies teachers, we drove to Greenville, Tennessee to take a training on the Medal of Honor Character Development Program. We didn't know what to expect. I've been in education over 30 years, and that was the most meaningful training I had ever been to. I remember we three getting back in the car at the end of the day, and we just started going crazy about how we're bringing this back to Elizabethton High School. When we came back, I won't tell the whole story, that's for Mr. Campbell to do. But we knew that this program, I'll just go ahead and tell you, you know, I think the number one goal of schools is to build character and to build great citizens for our communities. That's what I think it really is. And we knew this program was a fit because we knew that it would do that. So, like I said, Mr. Campbell ran with this, and it's come to this day where we're honored with this visit by Colonel Crandall. That's where we're at. And Colonel Crandall, I just want to say, sir, I know from the bottom of our hearts, we know that the freedoms we enjoy is because of men like you. You have sacrificed in the line of duty. You have acted bravely, courageous in the most dangerous situations. We appreciate you so much being here with us today. As most of you know, Colonel Crandall lives in Washington State. That's across this nation, all the way across. He's here at Elizabethton High School today. This, young people, I can't tell you what this assembly has meant to me. This is a golden opportunity. This is a man of character. This is what a role model should be. He is with you today. And like I said, over 30 years of education, this is the greatest assembly I've been a part of. So take it in, soak it in. It might be the last chance you get an opportunity like this. And we're so grateful that he's here with us. A memorial moment for everyone here today. Colonel Crandall, welcome to Cyclone Territory.
Please do all those men and women in uniform. Please keep us safe and be with our speaker. In Jesus' name, amen.
Everyone remain standing for our presentation of the colors and national anthem.
certain from the general public and faculty staff members who have been members of one of the branches of the armed services. I ask that each individual in each category stand and remain standing until all branches of the service have been highlighted, so that we might recognize them all with one big round of applause. First of all, the U.S. Army veterans, please stand. Secondly, Marines. Navy veterans. Air Force veterans. Finally, Coast Guard and Merchant Marine veterans. Please give these worthy individuals a round of applause. Comment about the presence of our honored guests. Being in any setting with the Medal of Honor memory is absolutely awe-inspiring for me. The word hero today in our society, as far as I'm concerned, has become an overused term, losing much of what I believe was its original intention. This morning, we are in the presence of an individual who is a model and inspiration for what we all aspire to be. He is a true. I can assure you that there is no small American that is even alive. I thank him and all who have made this morning's endeavor happen, and for those who have allowed me and us to meet and hear Colonel Crandall. Sir, thank you for being with us.
Since the Medal of Honor's creation in 1861, there has never been a visit by a recipient of that award to our town, and I say it's long overdue. In 1772, the settlers of this area created the Watauga Association. That was the first democratic government independent of British rule in what would become the United States of America. In 1780, British Major Patrick Ferguson sent word to the settlers of this area that if they did not lay down their arms, he would march his army over the mountains, hang their leaders, and lay waste to their country with fire and sword. At the Battle of Kings Mountain, Major Ferguson soon found out that the early settlers of this area are not easily intimidated, and their desire to be free is very strong. President Theodore Roosevelt called it a brilliant victory that marked the turning point of the American Revolution. Later, President Hoover said of that battle that this is a place of inspiring memories. Here, less than 1,000 men, inspired by freedom, defeated a superior force. So today, 242 years after our forefathers established democracy, and 234 years after they established freedom of tyranny, Elizabethton is finally welcoming the Medal of Honor. Students from this school have worked tirelessly for the past year to make this visit happen. And today, in the very birthplace of democracy and freedom, we welcome our country's highest honor for bravery and valor in the face of battle. I know our forefathers are very proud to know that today there is a representation of their ideas in this medal. And today, that medal has come home.
Selflessness, sacrifice, courage, patriotism,
helicopter training. This decision led him to fly about and map exotic lands, such as the deserts of Libya and the jungles of Costa Rica. Then he was summoned for the American counteroffensive in Vietnam in 1965. There, in the Ia Drang Valley, he would be remembered for his act in battle. The American forces were ambushed, outnumbered, and under intense fire. Crandall would not abandon him. He flew 22 missions, back and forth, retrieving wounded soldiers, and then again returning to ammunition, even after the landing zone had been deemed too dangerous. After this valiant 16 hours of sacrifice, he could not walk from the helipad without falling over from exhaustion. He successfully rescued 70 wounded men using unarmed, defenseless helicopters. Over the course of the Vietnam War, he flew more than 900 combat missions. For his actions during Vietnam, he was awarded 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses, a Bronze Star, a Purple Heart, and the Congressional Medal of Honor, among many others. Real heroes don't wear capes, but they do fly. They fly helicopters. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to introduce Lieutenant Colonel.
The reason I did that is because he's a lot smarter and a lot better behaved than I am. And he was a lot better behaved than my 3 sons. I want to thank the here in that second row. We've done a wonderful thing with our wounded warriors and the travel that you do. We appreciate it. It used to be motorcycle guys with hoods, but you guys have made hoods into hoods. Thank you. He gave me my date of birth. I'm about 2 years older than the average age of a recidivist. I'm the vice president of the Honor Society, and we have 78 living members. We have 10 on terror. They brought our average age down here. We have 40 soldiers here for our convention to go to schools and to talk to people here in that character development program. Before I go any further, that was a great news. And that second song, that's going to be set up my favorite. I like hearing it when I'm so loud. Your state is close to the best state in the union. If I didn't live in Washington to see those beautiful mountains and the woods, I would want to live in Tennessee. Because you have an ability to go to a football game on a yacht. We have that in the great state of Washington. You have a history of being first, and that's known throughout the U.S. and the world. My state has been first in a few things, not too proud of it. So Tennessee is a great place to visit. It's a great place to live. One of the things that has been impressive to us is this state has taken on the character development program better than any other place in the United States. And I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. The support has 17,700 school districts, and we want to be in every one of them. And if it's as easy as it is to to set the example, we set the bar very high. We have only 3 states that got into the program completely: Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Georgia. And we will get the rest of something to John. We're going to have our legacy. So there's 6 items in our character development program. And none of it has to do with recruiting or wanting to bring young people into the community. When we talk about service, we're talking about service in the community. We talk about courage, we talk about the courage to stay home, and that's the right answer. When we talk about patriotism, we mean that we want to do is have a love for people born here or brought here. My grandparents. My grandparents came from another country. Most of us have, if you go back 2 generations or so, at my age, people came from other countries. They've been in our country what it is. And I want you to carry it on. You're the ones that are going to have to keep the freedom. You're going to have to set the standards. If you don't have personal standards, you will not be what you need to be in this country. I'm very lucky. I fell in love at a young age, and I'm married at a young age. We were married for 54 years, and I lived for 50. We lived at 53. The family has been one of the most important parts of our military, because it's the family that made us so strong. We went away to combat. The wife's still good home. My wife, we had 3 sons. All 3 were Eagle Scouts. All 3 were acolytes in our church. All 3 have master's degrees. And my wife said she raised 4 boys. I knew your wives and mothers understand that. The best thing can happen in your life is to find the right partner. And I was lucky enough. When you see PTSD on something, throw the D away, it's not a disorder. Everyone has PTS. You will not get out of life without PTS. You're going to lose a loved one. You're going to lose a family member, a classmate. The highways are killing more of our young people than any war. So you'll have PTS. If you see somebody that has hug them up, they need to be told it's okay. We all have it. I lost 4 men in Vietnam. Lost them. I was ready to have people die. And people were I wasn't ready to have them come up missing. And from 1965 until 4 years ago, I had those guys in my mind every day. And they never aged. You have a board in here that has Vietnam, and those people in that board never aged. They have their parents and their friends look at that and they see them remember 19, 20, 21-year-olds. And that's the hardest thing in the world is to lose one of your men. Those of you that have families serving now, you can be assured that the commanders love those people. They do everything they can to bring them home. And that's one of our jobs. We can't do that for everybody because of course people who wear the Medal of Honor will tell you that they hope we never have another Medal of Honor recipient. We hope we never have another war. We wish that there would be peace in our lifetime and permanent peace. We don't know how that can be done. That's the same as we don't know how we're going to get through 17,700 school districts. It's still worth trying. this. I was lucky enough to command an outstanding helicopter outfit and be in a position to save a lot of troops. There was questions, how can you do that? How can you go in and shoot them? And the answer that everyone was the person because it was our job. We were just doing what we had to do, what we were trained to do. And I wouldn't let your sons and daughters die on the battlefield to save my skin. I'm a believer. I firmly believe that if it was my time, I would go. But if it wasn't, I had to do the best I could to make sure that I didn't cause someone else's time to come up. And so we fight for each other. We don't go to battle to kill. If somebody wants to kill, I don't want to be my own friend. Hate is a good thing to have on the battlefield. Hate is not a good thing to have in your classroom. If you've got a sense that you hate somebody because of color or skin or because of their religion, you got to look in that mirror every morning when you get up because whatever you're looking at needs to change. My doctor said I look pretty good for my age. I told him he thought I didn't have any mirrors in my house. I know what I look like. And I'm not that good at young. But I had the privilege of being around our young recent. They speak. They're sincere. They believe that they didn't do anything to earn this award. And what we have to tell them is that we all know it works out real well. Some of them are just a couple of years older than you, and they've got wondrous things. One of the things about the men of honor, and there's 3,500 of them. When it first came out, it was President Lincoln had it for the Navy. I never could figure that out. Must have been for the quality of the ship. But no, that's Navy's been Army for 12 years in a row. My brother's retired. So I still have some hard feelings about the Navy. And any of you young men play football, when you go to West Point and be Navy in my lifetime. Anyhow, that's not part of my shit. I do the Marine Corps too. I can't figure out why the Marines have a gun on that. Anyhow, I've had the privilege of being the starter at the Indy 500 a couple of years ago. And then I was a judge of the Mrs. America contest. That was awesome duty because somebody had to do it. And I take my dog everywhere I go. He's my hearing. When my wife passed away, I found out I was deaf. She was dancing the phone and the doorbells and whatever alarms. And all of a sudden I had people say that they'd come by, knocked on the door, and I wasn't home, and I was. And they'd say, I called. I don't hear. And so I take Huey everywhere, and he's named after my helicopter. He's tremendously well behaved. He wakes me up in the morning, the alarm goes off, and he licks my ear. When you're 81 years old, you don't need your ears licked. He is a joy. He answers, he comes to get me anytime that there's a noise that's unusual in the house. And he tells me the mom puts his paws on things. And I take him to the wounded warriors, and it's just wonderful. It's something that everyone plays about. The wounded warrior very neat to see that even if families don't come to see it as much as you hope. So if you have an opportunity, you know somebody, go visit. Because I went down my second tour in Vietnam. I flew 909 and a half missions. And I ended up in the hospital for 5 months. And I was a terrible husband because when you finally brought me home, you were in the hospital, American hospital. My wife was 75 miles away and 3 boys. And she didn't come to visit me once or twice. And I was greatly offended. I expected her to be there. But when I was in Vietnam, I wasn't a problem to her. But when I came home, I was because she had to take care of me as well as take care of the boy. So if you get a chance to do something for your wife, please do it. Visit them, please do it. They're the ones that get so much. They will tell you they just do their job. One thing I would like to point to you young folks. Your whole life is ahead. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. If it's not satisfactory to you, then change it. But do from this day on, plan your life to be a good citizen, to be a good son or daughter, to be a good student. And you're going to have, the rest of your life is going to have to be an education. You're going to have to continue that little thing that you carry your clock over, it tells you the time of day and all those other little things. I don't understand. You need to do the best that you can. I graduated high school in 1951. I didn't get a college degree until 1969 years later. I went to university before I found out I get a degree. You need to plan your life that way. If you get up in the morning, be happy. The most important thing in life is you've got to be able to look and enjoy what happens to you. No matter how bad it is or something or something. I have the hero that I respect the most in my life is Bob Hope. Because he visited our warriors in combat zone every Christmas. Every year he gave up his family to go where they loved him. So his was humor, and I love him. It beats that at your age, you think everything is terrible. My favorite teacher told me I was educated beyond my intelligence level when I was a sophomore. That's a terrible thing to say. But it was because I wasn't working in my academics as I should. And so I'm telling you, don't be educated in your intelligence level. Sophomore, for goodness sake, don't let a teacher recognize it. When we talk to our young medical recipients and attend, I'm a mentor for 5 and 10. They're Army folks, and they work for it. And the hardest thing with them is that they did earn this. It comes to you, you don't go get it. Please don't call us friends. We're recipients. We didn't win anything. But we wear this for all of the people who have ever gone to combat. Most of the people deserve this stuff. And most of the ones that got it customs. But a lot of people who are on the battlefield and died and home saw it. We had to hear no report. That's harder to explain by far. Even my mother wouldn't believe it. I told her I had a good condom, and she says the system is gone. But all of our members and technologies, they understand how they were in the condom because they all have it. It's all relative. Once you realize that you do this right, it's easy to do. I don't wear except when I do things like this. Ask because if this, you won't see there's 3 different kinds of Army Air Force. There's one Coast Guard guy, I don't know that. In one moment, she was a nurse doctor in the Civil War. They took her away from her because she was not in the military, but it was returned to her, so she still is in it. I will guarantee you that if we keep them in combat, if we don't get peace in our country, there's going to be a lot more women than our best helicopter pilots. As fighter pilots, it's not discouraging. It's just a bad thing. And we have more women in our services today than ever. And we have 2 general officers. We have 2 generals who are RPA names that married to each other. I don't think it'll last. You corrected her flying. More importantly, I was on the golf course once with him. He corrected her golf. Don't do this. First off, you don't take your wife on the golf course. My wife never went to play golf. She spent her time raising the other boys. I'm more than to answer your question. The movie, you saw the movie We Were Soldiers. One of the questions I usually get is how accurate was it? 75%. Ray Kinnear played me in that movie. Mel Gibson played infantry commander, and they used our names. And that it was interesting being on the set as much as we were. Director didn't want to pull something that wasn't acceptable to us, he would tell us. I suggest that's what we do with our children. But Greg Kinnear played me, and we became really close friends. Sam Elliott played the sergeant major. We became close enough friends when the sergeant major died. Greg Kinnear played a gay person, Chad Nicholson, next to me. And he got beat up. I told him I didn't like the gay guy, but we'd win. And he didn't think that was funny. But we kept in contact. The movie itself was done by Crandall Wallace, Braveheart, Braveheart. And he did try to bring us look like too much trouble. Smart mouths. He showed us like the world, and we don't. We've got folks like back here in the uniform. Thank you for the color. But that are outstanding, and they are not issues. Hold up, guys. They're good citizens. Now, I'll answer any question. I don't know what these 2 are going to say. But my peripheral vision is watching. Right. Okay, let's just see one question. I like this tonight. Does anybody have a question they'd like to ask? Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here this morning. An honor to share the stage with the national hero. My name is Chad Bogart, and I serve as the historic interpreter at Sycamore Shoals State Historic Area. Myself, along with the gentleman here behind the choir, represent the Washington County Regiment of North Carolina Militia, a living history organization to recreate the lives and deeds of the early settlers on the 18th century American frontier before Tennessee was even a state, part of the colony of North Carolina. And as Mr. Crandall has already stated, in 1780, these settlers formed the Frontier Army, departed from Sycamore Shoals on September the 26th, and on October the 7th, they defeated Major Captain Ferguson and his British loyalists at the Battle of Kings Mountain, turned the tide of the American Revolution to secure our liberty. Many of the students right here in this auditorium are descended from some of these patriots. We have a close connection with our history in this community, and the teachers of the Elizabethton school system see that our history is well ingrained in these students. A week from today, the entire student body of West Side Elementary School will join us for a day at Sycamore Shoals, where they will see firsthand recreations of 18th century life, learn about the old mountain view. And every 8th grade student that passes through T.A. Decker Junior High marches 8 miles from Rocky Mountain State Historic Site to Sycamore Shoals, retracing a small portion of the march of the old mountain view. It's a memory they will never forget, especially walking through that 45-degree water in the Watauga River. Raise your hand if you've done that march when you were in 8th grade. Students, let me ask you today, please also keep this day in your memory. A memory that you will never forget. When you can look back and say that you stood in the presence of a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, a true American hero. Mr. Crandall, we welcome you to the place where liberty began. We can never thank you enough for what you've done to secure the way of life we have today. But we can offer you a small connection to that same liberty that you helped defend some 200 years later. This certificate of membership says, "Let it be known by these presents that Lieutenant Colonel U.S. Army retired Bruce Crandall is in recognition of his selfless acts of heroism and his perpetuation of American patriotism, is hereby bestowed honorary membership in the Washington County Regiment of North Carolina Militia on this 12th day of September 2014.
Not being disrespectful, but Colonel Crandall is on a strict time frame today. He has to be back in Knoxville at a certain time. So sorry that we had to rush this to a close. When we spent all day with him, they told us that he was a talker, and we might be in trouble, and we are, and we're probably getting scolded over this. One final thing I'd like to do. We have a big football game tonight here at our stadium, homecoming. He was an All-American baseball player. I asked him if he played high school football. No, but he's playing tonight. Please open the box. By the way, I think you all have figured out by now this man can fly a helicopter. He will fly back tonight, we hope. They will win tonight because Colonel Crandall was here today. Thank you, Colonel, for being with us.
But I was 5'6" when I graduated high school. Figure out why.
And it was All-American baseball. We can't leave them out of Cyclone Baseball yet. He's also an honorary member of the Cyclone Baseball League. Sorry for having to be quick. Thanks for everyone coming. It's been we've had a special blessing today with him in our presence. I think you feel that, you know it. We will start this Colonel Crandall. We'll try to get him back someday. I promise we will do our best. Great American, great man, and this Elizabethton is blessed for him to be here today. Thank you again, Colonel Crandall.